This is a very small institute, and it's not built to be in this capacity.
Dr. Kugel is exhausted. He spent weeks trying to identify the victims of the Hamas attacks.
We're going to the DNA lab, and people are working here.
Day after day, the remains of the dead arrive.
I want to show you something so you get some impression.
He's witnessed a pattern of brutality that haunts him, and on a massive scale.
So many bodies were shot, but before they were shot, they were cuffed. So it's execution style. You can see stab wounds here at the back and on the head. And if you do CT, you can see that the pelvis is shattered. These are bullets inside. So he was shot, he was stabbed, he was burned, and then he was run over.
They sift through charred fragments, looking for clues in skeletons shattered by explosions and bones bleached by fire. Behind the science, they find stories, unforgettable details of people's last moments.
This is an adult and a child or a teen spine. They are hugging together or very close together, and they were burned together, probably hugging each other. This is very difficult. A body is not burned like this. This is like a crematorium. So they put more and more accelerating agents in order to make it totally gone to ashes.
Chen is used to death, accustomed to conflict, but not, he says, this level of barbarity.
It's not just another war. I saw wars in my life. This is the cruelty, and that's, I think, what the terrorists want.
He's had very few moments to sit. When he does, you get a sense life will never be the same again.
What are some of the individuals that have stuck with you in your mind?
Well, I have these people that were tied and shot, and sometimes you can see the terror on their face. I can remember little children which were burned, and I try not to remember this, but it's there.
How difficult has it been trying to identify these people and deliver information to the families who so desperately need it?
I assume that there will be some people that will never be identified. Professionally, I hope that there will be as few as possible, and I want to bring every one of them to the grave to give him the last honor. Sorry. But we'll do it. We'll make it happen.
Dr. Nurit Bublil's team is working on the hardest cases.
And this is Tammy Icons. Hello. Hello.
Here in the DNA lab, they try to analyse tiny bits of tissue, often all that is left.
This is the best body part we could found. These bodies, some of them have gone through fire in like 800, 900, 1000 Celsius.
But there are other items that have rocked them to the core.
This is a baby mattress. It was taken from one of the houses. It is covered with bloodstains, and this baby was probably stabbed in his own bed. So we have completed the test, and we will bring it back to the IDF. We have a lot of items here. The majority of the samples that we have received by now are tissue samples or bone or teeth, but we had some that were evidence that were taken from the home, and one of them was a recipe cookbook that we have in our kitchen. I have it in my own kitchen. It was covered with blood, and you cannot avoid thinking that it could have been any one of us.
This is slow, disciplined, technical work, and it's a huge toll on their minds and their hearts.
People were burning in their home, and they were laughing, and they were filming, and they stood outside the window enjoying to witness the whole family burnt on fire for hours. They slaughtered our people, and they enjoyed every minute of it.
There are now few full corpses arriving here, so they've turned to anthropologists like Michal Peer.
We get these boxes that are also filled with debris, with rocks, with burnt metal and glass, and sometimes even pieces of cell phones that the people were holding at the time. We have to separate the bones from the non-bones, and all we can do is look to see how much we can identify the bones that are there, if we can find any doublings. We have had cases where there are remains like this of at least 2 people.
Have you ever experienced anything like this?
No, I haven't. Before this event, I had never had to deal with the remains of children, and it's really difficult. It's hard to disconnect from it, but you have to, because we have to do this work, and we have to find, even if it's the smallest piece of bone that we can send up to the lab for them to try to pull a DNA profile, because that's the whole reason I got into this field. It's for the families, these people who are looking for their loved ones and wanting to know what happened to them, to bring those family closure, to bring those family answers, to let those families have the chance to give their loved ones a proper burial.
Hour after hour, the body bags come. Families looking for closure. Others have no survivors left to even claim the dead. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News, Tel Aviv, Israel.